The Kansas City Chiefs were the AFC champion for the third consecutive year, but this time is a little bit different than the previous two as they were on the losing side, and they didn't just lose in the Super Bowl, they got completely embarrassed. This is a team that's going to get very expensive very soon. Travis Kelce probably only has a year or so left, and they're going to have to fill out these trenches to maximize the peak of Patrick Mahomes. That's what we're going to be attempting to do in this 7-round Kansas City Chiefs mock draft. I'm really excited for this one. I think there are a lot of different ways that this team could look to draft, but I've got a good game plan, and I'm excited to take advantage of it. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new. Be sure to check out my Patreon page, which I will leave linked in the description below. It's $5 a month, but it is truly one of the best resources on the market. You guys will get access to my full draft guide with in-depth player analysis, scouting reports, player stats, combine and pro day numbers, and so much more, as well as my final big board, which I will be updating officially this weekend. There's a lot of draft content coming with just a little over 2 weeks left until the draft. So if you guys do enjoy that type of content, ring that notification bell so you never miss out on a video. But guys, let's go ahead and kick this off with the Kansas City Chiefs. So here at pick 31, I really wanted to trade up in this class. I was really hoping Kelvin Banks would fall to about 20, but unfortunately he didn't end up falling that far, and I'm going to stick and pick here at number 31. Donovan Jackson is a player that I really like as a fit to this team. This is a team that traded Joe Thuney. You were able to extend Trey Smith, but the interior of the offensive line could be a big issue, especially if Kingsley Suamataia doesn't pan out. You brought in Jalen Moore, who's presumably going to play left tackle for you, but I think Donovan Jackson is a really intriguing possibility. You just need bodies on this offensive line, and Donovan Jackson at 6'4", 315 pounds is a very good body to put on the offensive line. He is probably going to profile best at guard at the next level. He's played guard for a majority of his collegiate tenure at Ohio State, but down the stretch, after Josh Simmons' ACL tear, Donovan Jackson stepped in at left tackle, and he did a pretty good job. Obviously, he had his struggles early, but as the season progressed, Donovan Jackson was an unsung hero for this Ohio State team. He's got versatility on the offensive line. I think he's a really good athlete for the position. He moves very well. He gets to the second level. He's got strong lower body, and I think he's going to be able to play a starting guard role at the next level. He can play tackle for you, but with the way that the Super Bowl went, you have to address offensive line early in this draft class. Donovan Jackson, he might not be your long-term left tackle, but he is an offensive lineman I truly do believe can play all 5 positions, and that's kind of what I think the Chiefs need to be prioritizing early in this class. He's got the versatility. He's got the athleticism. He does need to improve some of his footwork, can disengage too early at times, but he's worth a late first-round pick in my opinion, so I'm going to take him here to Kansas City at 31. So here at pick 54, there's a player starting to slip down the draft a little bit that I think could be a really good option for this team. So I'm going to make a slight trade up. We're moving up 9 spots in this class. We're giving up pick 63, pick 133, and a future day 3 pick to move up 9 spots. We're getting pick 198 back in the trade, but a player's slipping. I don't think he's going to make it to us, and I think he's a big need for us. So I'm going to make this slight trade up here with the Green Bay Packers. And that player that I am targeting at pick 54 is going to be LSU tight end Mason Taylor. Taylor is the perfect developmental tight end in this class, in my opinion. He's got really, really good athleticism, a guy who ran a 4.65 at his pro day. He's 6'4", 250 pounds, and he's a guy that I feel like has the upside to be a long-term, really good tight end in the NFL. Travis Kelce, obviously, we talked about it in the intro. He doesn't have much time left in his NFL career. He definitely started to slow down at the end of last year. You've got Noah Gray, who's fine. I don't think he's this high upside guy. You drafted Jared Wiley. I think Taylor is a little bit of a mixture of both Wiley and of Gray in all the best ways. He's a better blocker than Jared Wiley was coming out of TCU. But I really like what he does as a receiver. He's got strong hands. He's a chain mover. 68% of his catches at LSU went for first downs. He can play in line. He can play in the slot. He's very good against zone coverage. He's got good speed, and he knows how to create separation. He didn't run a very complex route tree for LSU, which is my biggest concern with him. He's going to need to improve his physicality, but he's not going to be asked to step in and be a 100-catch guy. He's not going to be asked to be Brock Bowers as a rookie. He's going to be a number 2 early on in his career, get the opportunity to develop, but it also gives you another good athlete and a good receiving option that I think this team is desperately lacking. So Mason Taylor, I don't think he's making it past the Chargers. I don't think he's making it past Houston. I don't think he's making it past Carolina in this draft. This is a guy that I think he's having some buzz of potentially going at the back end of the first round. This is closer to where I have him on my board, so I'm going to trade up and take Mason Taylor here at pick 54. Here at pick 66, really bummed about how the board fell. I was really eyeing Omar Norman-Lott from Tennessee. He ended up going just a few picks prior to the Houston Texans, and we're left at a difficult spot here because they've got Mike Pennell currently as the number 2 defensive tackle. I know they brought in Jerry Tillery, but this team needs a young, developmental defensive tackle, and TJ Sanders is a guy I really like, but I don't want to take him here. I want to do something different. I'm looking at Joshua Farmer out of Florida State. This is a guy that I really think can play all over the line of scrimmage. 6'2", 314 pounds, 82.5-inch wingspan, ran a 5.14, 26 reps on the bench. This is a guy that is exceptionally strong. He's got phenomenal power in his game. Good size, good length. His pop with his hands are really, really good. And I think he's got some good athleticism with long arms. He is going to need to work on developing more of a pass rush tool bag. He's going to need to be better at winning consistently. And I do think he's going to need to be a more consistent tackler. He had a 15.2% missed tackle rate this past season for Florida State. But he is the perfect complement or heir apparent to Chris Jones because he's got freakish athleticism and get off the line of scrimmage. He's got really good movement abilities. He can win in a variety of ways. When he's on, his pass rush looks really strong. He's just got to be more consistent in it. And I think he can be. So I'm going to take a shot here at pick 66 and take Joshua Farmer, a guy that I do like in this class and I think is worth the investment in the early parts of the third round. So here at pick 95, the San Francisco 49ers are wanting to come up in this draft, and I'm going to do that. We're going to trade back 5 spots, giving up 95 and 226, but we're getting back pick 100 and pick 160, just trying to add some more draft capital. We have over 90 picks between 95 and our next one. I'm going to add a 5th rounder in this class, and we're going to make this deal with San Francisco. So here at pick 100 for the Chiefs, I'm going to go with a safety. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. They brought back Mike Edwards. They got Jaden Hicks stepping into a spot. I don't love the safety depth on this team. I really don't. People are going to see Kevin Winston. He's off the board. I've taken him a lot in previous mock drafts. For this exercise, he is off the board. Jonas Sanker is the guy that I'm really looking at. I like some of the free safeties they have. They got Brian Cook. You got Mike Edwards. And then you've got some other depth pieces there. But I don't think you've got a lot of great backups. You got Deion Bush as the backup strong safety. I think Jonas Sanker is a guy I haven't taken enough, but he is a borderline top 100 player for me. Really good in the box. This is a guy that is a consistent and reliable tackler, can play downhill really well. 31 run stops this past season for UVA, which is a really good number for a safety. He's a great tackler with good fluid athleticism. This is a guy that ran a 4.48 at 6 foot, 206 pounds. I think he's a smart zone coverage player with good physicality. He's going to need to improve at being consistent in man coverage, but I think adding him as another depth piece, another guy that you can throw into this rotation, he's a really good fit, and he loves to play downhill. You can use him as a disguised blitzer, which we know Spags loves to do. I think he makes a lot of sense here, so I'm going to take him to the Chiefs here at pick 100, just shore up the secondary a little bit more and just get another piece that I think could be a contributor for this roster. Here at pick 160, this is where I am going to go back to the offensive line and draft a tackle. There's some good players on the board. Holland Pierce, Jack Nelson, Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon. I like all of those guys, but I think Logan Brown is just becoming a favorite of mine in this class. Now, Pierce is my highest ranked tackle on the board, but I just don't think he's a guy Kansas City would draft in this spot. He's kind of a raw piece. He is a freak in terms of his size, 6'7", 342, 88.25-inch wingspan, but he just doesn't feel like a guy that the Chiefs would draft. He's a little bit slower, not super versatile. I don't know that he's going to be this great athlete for you. Logan Brown out of Kansas, I think, gives you a little bit more athleticism. Did a 5.18 at the combine. He's 6'6", 312. He's really light on his feet. I think he can kick inside. He can play at tackle. He's, like I mentioned, he's light on his feet, has good quickness, good burst, and I think he moves well in the run game. He does have some balance concerns, can play a little too slim. I think he could add on some weight at the position. He does get beat inside, but he only allowed 6 pressures this past season on 619 snaps, and he did a 4.51 on the 20-yard shuttle, which is a fantastic time. He's fluid as an athlete, and I think he's got the foot speed to make an impact as a pass protector. If you want to play him at left tackle, I think he could do it. Or whenever you guys decide to move on from Jawan Taylor, he can go to his true position, which is right tackle. I love the versatility he brings, and this is kind of a theme with the offensive line for Kansas City. You need guys that can do a little bit of everything. I think Logan Brown can, and so that's why I'm going to take him here at pick 160. Here at pick 198, we're going to go back to the secondary. Kamari Connor is currently the starting nickelback, and I like Kamari Connor, but I think you could add some more depth to that room. And Jabbar Muhammad out of Oregon has been a favorite of mine since the summer. Haven't taken him enough in this series just because he's 5'9", 185. He's not the most athletic guy in the world, but he is a very, very smart football player. Quick feet. I think his closing speed is very good. He can play in all sorts of different coverage schemes. If you want him in man, you want him in zone. I think he's got great zone feel. He has the ability to pick guys up over the top. I think his ball skills are very good. He is undersized, and he's likely going to be limited to playing primarily in the nickel, and I think he's going to need to improve his tackling technique. He has struggled with tackles throughout his career. Only a 57.1 run defense grade this past season. He's going to need to be more consistent in that regard. Had 4 missed tackles. It was up from where he was at Washington the year prior. But he's a good player, and I think he's very instinctual, very smart. He had 10 pass breakups this past season for Oregon. He's a guy I think is worth investing on. I think he'd be a starting nickel in this league, so I'm going to take him at pick 198. Here at pick 251, I'm looking to go with a defensive end, a high upside guy that I think could develop into being a nice rotational piece. I'm looking at Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins. Really good size and length. He's 6'4", 278, 81 and an 1/8-inch wingspan. I think he's a good run defender, but he's still very unpolished, and that's why he's going to go late in the 7th round, I think. He's too big to be a full-time edge. He's too small to play full-time inside. He's an average athlete, and I think he's still got a lot of room to improve as a pass rusher. This is a guy that hasn't been able to consistently create a ton of pressure, but these Georgia guys are always worth an investment. He's got the measurables that you look for. I think he's got good run defense upside, and he shows some flashes as a pass rusher. Had a 7.2% win rate. I believe he had 3 sacks this past season, so he's not an awful pass rusher. He's a late round pick. He's probably not going to amount to much, but he is worth an investment because of the traits that he has, so he'll be my pick at 251. With our final pick here at 257 and the final pick of the draft, I want to go get another receiver. Rashee Rice coming off an injury. Hollywood Brown coming off an injury. You still got Juju. You got Xavier Worthy, who really flashed at the end of the season. I think you need a physical receiver, a guy that can be the jump ball. Just go out there, make tough catches. Caden Prather is that guy for me. I'm a huge Caden Prather fan. He's my number 21 receiver in the class. I would take him at the back end of day 2. He is a really fun player. 6'3", 209 pounds, great length, great size, ran a 4.46. His stop and go ability to sell routes is really, really impressive. Sharp cuts, can juke out defenders, and he's got a good release package against press. He is a bigger sized receiver. Only a 35.7% contested catch rate, which isn't amazing, but I think he is going to be able to do that at the next level. He shows good physicality in his routes. His ability to high point the football is really good. I'm a big fan of this player, and with the final pick in the draft, I think you could be getting a starting quality receiver here. So Caden Prather will be my final pick to Kansas City in this mock draft. So there we have it, Chiefs fans, my 7-round Chiefs mock drafts. very trenches oriented, going out and getting Donovan Jackson and Logan Brown, Joshua Farmer, and Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, improving the secondary with guys like Jonas Sanker and Jabbar Muhammad, and then adding a guy like Mason Taylor, who I think could be a long-term tight end, and Caden Prather, who I just really loved the value. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this mock draft down in the comments section below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What would you have changed? Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.